to make gains. You're already going to improve. You don't need it.
How much test do you take?
Right now I'm on 280 milligrams of testosterone.
280 milligrams. You all know I'm on 140, and so he's on double the doses that I'm on. Many of you have seen his physique. Does he look like his physique would be unattainable, natural? That if he put in the work and trained hard, that he wouldn't eventually be able to get the muscles that he has right now? And so he's not on HRT. He's on a cycle, 280 milligrams, of which he started at 300 and has cycled in different things in the past, Masteron and orals. This is not replacement doses. And with this comes negative side effects, including losing your hair, which he speaks so highly of the importance of hair, as well as acne. He's literally on Accutane. You know how bad that is for your liver?
Testosterone is going to cause your face to bloat a little bit, carry a little bit more water. You start to run into the side effect profile at, I would say, around 350 to 400 milligrams for most people.
This is complete horseshit. He has no idea. Many people, even on my dose, 140 milligrams, would experience problems. And so unless you're getting your blood work done and you're being monitored by a doctor, you have no idea what you're doing. How many think he was monitored by a doctor at 14 years of age? Do you really think his parents brought him to the doctor and said, hey, he's on testosterone, let's make sure he does it right? Yeah, his dose is 300 milligrams. What do you think the doctor would have said? If you do want to get your blood work done, of course, Algo RX, code Greg, 10% off. Qualified doctors will give you an exact protocol explaining exactly what you need. In case you're healthy, not healthy, you want to find out, Algo RX for all your blood work.
What's the best peptide for better erections?
Well, it's not going to be a peptide. It's a different class of drugs. It's going to be Cialis.
And Cialis, yes, I have in fact done a video on this. If you're 100% natural and you're having difficulties with the downstairs, and you perhaps already tried harder than last time, and you're trying to go to the gym, you're trying to get a better pump. If you have low body fat levels, a small dose of Cialis, which for most people is healthy. Remember, be sure to check with your doctor. And by small dose, I'm meaning 5 milligrams, perhaps 10 at most. It can, in fact, be healthy for you. And it can, in fact, help you to look max because you're going to see more veins. You're going to look more pumped, more swole. And so if you don't want to use steroids, you don't want to cross that line, Cialis is not banned by WADA. And so if you do, in fact, use Cialis, you're still natural according to the Olympics and other natural organizations. Interested in Cialis and Viagra and Clomiphene, HRT, Algo-RX, code Greg, 10% off.
What would you say are the best and worst steroids for muscle growth?
The best steroid is testosterone. And I would say the worst by far is Masteron.
I agree with that. Testosterone in low doses prescribed by a doctor, I think that's the best steroid that they have. It's the one that mimics exactly what your body has. And so if you're getting replacement doses, I can see that. The worst is certainly not Masteron. How can he say the worst is Masteron? Has he ever heard of Tren? What about halotestin? Are you kidding me? We're going to take toxic orals and think that that's somehow better than Masteron? Masteron is not as bad as he's saying. Tren is, in my opinion, the worst.
The usage for Masteron, it has to be taken at a certain period of your life for it to be effective. And that has to be during puberty so you could reap the benefits of the penile development.
What kind of advice is this? You have these people are watching this guy. They're probably 13, 14 years of age, and they're measuring themselves, and they're thinking, yeah, this is not good. I'm not at the 95th percentile, and so I need to cox max. Imagine many of them are going to be thinking, you know what, I need to get some Masteron, and they're going to take that because they're going to feel like, well, if I don't take this, what am I going to do with my woman? Is this really the message that we want to send? And do you really think it's going to make that much difference? And even if you think it's going to make a difference, even if it is, what percentage of Masteron do you think is actually Masteron? Not a lot. And so be careful what you put into your body because most likely it isn't what you think.
The last macro that you might not have heard is dietary fat because there's no reason for it, right? Especially if you're enhanced, you don't need dietary fat.
You don't need fat. So long as you're on HRT, fat is not an essential nutrient. It's actually the opposite. You need fat, but you don't need carbs. Not saying that you should cut out carbs, nor am I saying you should cut out fat. I believe everything should be consumed in moderation. But he's saying fat isn't needed. Fat is, in fact, needed. Think of it. He's literally saying to looks max, if you're on testosterone, fat, you don't need it. Carbs around your workout, and protein the rest of the day.
So what's your diet look like in a day?
My diet varies a good amount. in terms of my food selection, but the macronutrients stay very similar.
And so essentially his diet is 250 grams of carbs before working out, and for the rest of the day, air-fried chicken. Did I mention he's on 15 grams of Retta?
I'm taking testosterone every single day because I'm taking a very short ester of testosterone, right? Some people take long esters so they don't have to inject as frequently, but that can cause a plethora of issues.
Another mistake, you don't switch from an enanthate to a prop thinking, oh my goodness, I'm going to have much more stable levels of testosterone. Prop ester has to be done every day or every other day. Enanthate, you can get away with doing it less frequently. And so if your estrogen levels are too high, rather than thinking I'm going to switch to prop, try injecting more frequently. But here's the real problem. If you have too much conversion to estrogen, most likely your dose is too high. How many of you think that him being on double the dose that I am, a 15-year-old man who abused steroids for 10 years, how many of you think he needs that and that somehow is optimal?
I use crystal meth. I'm pretty much using meth for hollow cheeks.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at in terms of looks maxing.
And you try to claim that you don't have body dysmorphia and you're just trying to looks max. He talks about having a high IQ and to maximize his cognitive function. Maybe he should try that, and then if he did so, he'd realize he doesn't need all these surgeries.
I just like to say stuff like that for the shock factor because it's just like an initial hook.
It doesn't just sound outrageous, it is outrageous. Now, mind you, of course it's in lower doses, but do you really need any dose? Like, really? Come on.
I also will take retatrutide once a week, 15 milligrams. Retatrutide will increase your lifespan. Retatrutide is incredibly healthy and good for you.
He says it with confidence and conviction, and he's an attractive man who's 6'2" tall. When people hear him say this, they are actually going to believe it. But how many people think that Retta is going to improve your lifespan if you're taking 15 milligrams a week? Each vial is 5 milligrams. That is an absurdly, ridiculously high dose. And so even if something is safe in smaller quantities, once you take it in absurdly high gigadoses, is it really going to be just as safe? Retta is being experimented on to see if it could possibly be used by doctors to prescribe to people who are obese and or morbidly obese. Not for people who are already sub 15% body fat and who are in fact teenagers, who are also using meth, who have body dysmorphia. And so when you think of all of this, realize that Retta is not legal. It's an underground product that might be legal in the future after it passes certain safety profiles.
So what we're going to see over the next few years is a lot more willingness for teenagers to start using things like HGH to get taller, aromatase inhibitors, and we're already seeing that.
And so what are we going to see in 10 years? Well, we're going to see a lot more of this. The Gen Alphas that are coming up, these guys are all going to be on performance-enhancing drugs. They're going to be on steroids as teenagers. They're going to be looks maxing, and all for what? What is even going to be the point? No one's going to go out into the real world and actually talk to anyone. They're going to be sitting there with their ocular devices, playing WeChat with everyone. No one's going to go to the bar. People aren't going to drink. They're going to think, why would I leave my house? I'm going to sit here safely in my bedroom and talk to strangers from morning until night. This is the future. People aren't going to go out there and see people in the real world. And it all started because of that stupid C word where people actually think that the government actually cared.
If you compare that to what bodybuilders and IFBB pros are taking like a tenth of what anyone, who's super committed to the gym is taking.
You know what he didn't mention that he's also on? Smoking a lot of that copium. What people do in order to cope is they find the most extreme example and say, in comparison to them, I'm on nothing. It's like me doing nothing. I'm on 140 milligrams. You're on 280. I'm not on IGF-1. I'm not on growth hormone. I'm not on meth, nor Addies, and I'm not on Retta. And so compared to this IFBB Pro, you're on way more than Coach Greg.
So if you have a son one day, would you recommend that he did what you did?
Absolutely, because I would be very confident that under my supervision, we could really make a lot of progress.
And so let's pray he doesn't become a dad. The fact that he doesn't think anything could go wrong under his supervision, this is what shows that kids have no idea what they're talking about.
I think normal people want to live in fantasy land. They won't have the IQ to be able to have that kind of amount of money saved up and be able to have the means to get these surgeries.
As smart as he was, He couldn't see that he doesn't need facial reconstruction surgery or limb lengthening surgery when you're already 6'2" and good looking. And so what good is this high IQ? Does Mr. Mike, famously had over 200 mistakes on his PhD, with his IQ famously over 160, what good was that for him? I'm starting to think the smarter you are, the dumber you actually are.
Just do whatever it takes is what I would say. Kind of piggybacking off of Rich Piana's whole mentality. I think I'm someone who's very similar, and that's someone I grew up watching.
Whatever it takes. Did I not say maybe, just maybe, that man influenced them just a little bit? Do whatever it takes. And so if you don't think that your favorite fitness influencer is actually influence you, think again. And so be careful who you're watching. Is it Jeff Nipaw, the dropout dentista? Is it Mr. Mike? Is it Coach Greg? Will Tennyson? Or is it perhaps Togi encouraging gambling, sniffing creatine, and taking testosterone? Or this man, Clavicular, telling you don't look good enough? Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch one of those two bloops. And of course, if you're looking for any of the supplements, you can get them. Code Greg, 15% off. And we're looking for ambassadors and or sponsored athletes. Please click the link. And if you're looking for carrying any of our supplements into your stores or gyms, click the link. Don't forget about the cookbook as well as Algo RX. And of course, if you're looking for coaching, hit me up and click the link. And until next time, I am out.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm recording this video in November 2025. And at the time of recording this video, Magnus Carlsen is still the best chess player in the world. Now, just like in any sport, what truly separates somebody from everybody else? And what truly separates that somebody for like 10 to 15 years from the rest of the field? In this video, I will try to uncover the secret ability that Magnus has that many of his contemporaries do not. And it is the ability to navigate the transition from a middle game to an endgame, to place all the pieces on just the right squares for sustained pressure 40, 50, 60 moves down the line. I'll be showing you 5 games that he recently played on chess.com. These games will blow your mind at how precise the play is. And I did say this is November 2025. I'm recording this on Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving to those of you celebrating. And as we know, Thanksgiving is also closely tied to Black Friday. So for the only sale of the entire year in 2025, on Chessly, my educational platform, we are doing a Black Friday deal for all of you. 44% off. Technically 44.5% off, but 44% off. You can check it out. You can also try it for free. No card is required. I repeat, I know that might sound rare, but no card.
那个啃着吃也不让人痛快的家伙，
还有说话的力气，看来是没事了。
耐萌？不是啊，既然你都要来了，之前怎么不一起来？
那就抓不到它了啊！我不是说了吗？如果要引诱虫子，就需要香甜的蜜。乌尔古伦做得好，托你的福才能钓到那个家伙，是个很好的诱饵。
诱饵？诱饵原来在连本人都不知道的情况下也能当吗？
你还要发牢骚到什么时候？多亏了你，才能把那些叛徒一网打尽。反正这里不是真的奥德果冻仓库，不用担心被跟踪。
什么？甚至还不是奥德果冻仓库？喂，你跟我们说过的话，有哪句是真的吗？
乌尔古伦，不要再讲了，再讲下去嘴巴都要磨没了。你先去告诉加罗利克，事情已经顺利解决了，他应该在等消息。
啊？连加罗利克都知道这个计划，为什么不早点告诉我？
乌尔古伦，你一说谎，表情就会露馅呢。